Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good night, depending on what time you are able to watch this video in your respective time zone. But today I'm coming to you with a video about weeklies and how once you hit level 50, you are able to continue your progression in Throne of Liberty without having to spend too much time per week. So if most of us have a busy week, we have work, we have families, we got social lives, we got things to do. And once you hit level 50, if you view this game by a week by week basis, you're able to have that feeling of accomplishment and reward for your time in this game if you focus on weeklies. So I'll pull up our weeklies. What I want to focus in on is the world and the co-op dungeon sections. First, I'm going to start with the resistance contracts. These contracts are something that at this point you've done numerous times throughout the main story quest to get to level 50. And now that you're at level 50, they allow you to do 50 per week in order to get yourself a chance at an epic roll. However, even though 50 sounds daunting, the game is agnostic to what level area that you do these contracts in. And during my testing, I was able to do contracts in Vienta Village, as you can see on the screen here, the contract manager from here. I went and I was able to average about 8 contracts per every 20 minutes. So when you do the math, at just over 2 hours, you have your 50 done for the week, which is super manageable if you have 1 or 2 nights a week that you can play this game and your buddies aren't on, but you want to keep progressing in new gear. This is a great way to guarantee an epic roll for gear at the end of the week. Dynamic events is another thing you could do if you have a little more time and you're able to schedule things whenever the game schedules it, especially if it's a PvE dynamic event. You're able to do those, 5 of them per week, which is probably about another 2 hours, probably give or take, and do that. The other one is the dimensional contract tokens from dungeons. So let me pull up the dungeons. As you can see, the dimensional contract token cost per dungeon changes and obviously goes lower as you do the different dungeons. However, from my understanding as of right now, it is still agnostic to what level you are. So you could be a level 50 and go into the 20, spam this 12 times, and you can get the 1500 limit done and achieved. Because some of you may know, because the game is new, when you enter these level 50s that you see, it is a little dicey when you're in the dungeons. Sometimes you make it through the front door, the first room. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you make it all the way to the final boss, and then you find out that like half your team has to leave in 5 minutes, and if you guys don't get it on the first try, half your team leaves. So you could do the 40, the Cave of Desperation. You could do the Roaring Temple several times. If you do Cave of Desperation, that's about, I don't know, 6 times, 6, 7 times you have to do it. And once you do that, then you get your 1500 done, and you're able to go from there. Or maybe you like doing dungeons, and dungeon diving is what you want to do for your evening, that you can play the game, and ultimately, you just do the 4500, and you have 3 rolls chances. 3 epic roll chances, and you're good to go. You're totally fine. So that's what I would highly suggest. Once you hit level 50 and you don't know what to do, and you want to keep progressing, you want to keep getting gear, and you're cool with looking at the game in a weekly basis, week by week basis, I would say focus on world events, world contracts in your weeklies. By the resistance contracts to dynamic events, and if you want to be a scavenger, look for globes, you can. But I would say go to a mid-tier, mid-level area, do 50 contracts within just over 2 hours, you'll be done. You can do a dynamic events if they pop up while you're playing, or if you decide to, and or with your resistance contracts, at least get to the 1500 dimensional contract tokens used. And if you have more time, you can push higher, and that will at least give you 2 to 3 epic rolls per week, up to 5 if you do all of them. So you can just focus on dungeon diving and 2 of the world quests for the weeklies, and you have 5 epic rolls. As you can see on my screen, I am part of a guild. And if you have the time, the guild is like a super fast track way to do it, because you can always just give money to the guild, and by the end of the week, you'll be able to. There is a cooldown on it, but if you pop in each day, do your 10 and leave, by the end of the week, you'll have this one done. If you participate in the guild contracts, I did 5 of them this week. You get another one, so on and so forth. For guild reputation, same idea. But for those of you who aren't in a guild, who at this point may or may not spend your time playing this game solo, or you have a duo or trio, but they're also just as busy as you, focus on resistance contracts, dynamic events, and at least spending 1,500 dimensional tokens in dungeons. If you do those 3 things, you get 3 epic rolls at the end of the week, and you'll at least have a chance to either get good gear or at least get trait conversion tokens, I believe is what they call them. And you can beef up your current existing gear that you have. So that is my video for the week on Throne and Liberty. I'm having a great time on the game. It's a really good time. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.